So welcome Mountain Ridge Church. This is kind of like a quick kind of teaser promo for the talk that's coming tomorrow. We're hoping to do this maybe a little bit more often, but we're just going to take just a couple minutes to talk about what you're going to hear tomorrow. Sam has a couple questions for me. So Sam, go for it.
So I guess the first question we want to ask is, with your talk this Sunday, what were you hoping that would really impact people as you were putting this together?
The thing that I read in the Old Testament that really impacts my heart the most, especially in the time of Judges, has been how complacent people were about the things of God, how complacent they were about putting God in first place, and just how over so many years they went from we experienced God to the end of Judges, where scripture says everyone did whatever they wanted. And it just led that culture into so much pain and destruction, and it never had to happen. What strikes me is just how hard it was for people to be aware of and see the complacency. So I think that for me is really stuck. That's the thing I hope on Sunday when we talk about it really hits people's hearts.
Cool. So one of the things that I think happens to us is, we have 30 minutes, so you're obviously not covering the entire
Right.
book of Judges in that 30 minutes. So what is it that if you had more time, or what is it that you would want to cover that you didn't maybe have a chance to in the talk?
Yeah, Sam and I are having struggles going through the Old Testament because it's a 4,000 year long story and we have 13 weeks. And so there's so many storylines we're not able to jump into. One of the things, actually several things that I'm kind of missing out on, I wish I could talk about. First of all, if you're in the youth group, middle school, high school, or college, man, do these stories apply to you? Like, try things, do things, engage life. God's with you, and don't look at challenges in front of you as like the walls of Jericho saying, no, I could never do this. No, God's with you. Walk with God and allow him to lead you into challenges. And yes, there are going to be struggles and challenges, and that's how you learn what it means to walk with God. I would love to talk more about that. I wish I could talk more about how leadership matters. When there were judges that loved God, the people prospered. When there were no judges, people were tormented. When the kings were good kings, people prospered. And when the kings were evil kings, there was pain. I really wish I could talk so much more about how leadership matters. Leadership matters in your home. It matters at work. It matters at church. Leadership matters. And the last thing that I was thinking about was how the relationship for the children of Israel was so up and down. They were in pain, so they turned to God. Then God relieved their pain, then they turned away from God. And this relationship that went up and down had wild swings, and it never had to be. If they would have only consistently walked with God, obeyed the Sabbath, God would have just continued to bless them all of their days. So these are storylines we just don't have time to jump into.
Well, and I think the last one's the money question for me, and that is, these scriptures that you're using that we seem to bring up weekly, do they really apply to our lives today?
Actually, Sam and I have been talking a lot about that this week. If you look at our country and the chaos that's going on, man, is it chaotic. And if you think about it, we're only reliving the days of Judges and the old decisions that we saw in these scripture references. Everything we're reading in the Old Testament has everything to do with what we're going through today. And you know what it is? You see it in Romans 1, verse 18 on. Keep your focus on God. Keep your focus on God. Put God in first place. And so if there's anything that to me that impacts me is all the scriptures that we're reading are the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow, which is focus on God, put God in first place. That is everything. That's why Sam and I are over the top passionate about putting God in first place. Even God, when he came to earth in the form of Jesus, said what? I'm the vine, you're the branch, and whenever you're connected with me, you're going to produce a lot of fruit. So that's what we talk about. That's what we're passionate about. Everything we see in the Old Testament has everything to do with what we're doing today. Hey, we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. God bless you guys. Talk to us, email us, let us know what your thoughts are. Would love it if you were to read through Judges to prepare for tomorrow. See you then.